Today, Andy and I discuss what it was like to meet Troy Baker and Christopher Judge. Let's discuss all this and more on the Late Night Gamer podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 72 of the Late Night Gamer podcast, your place for late night laughs, hot takes, and video game reviews. I'm your host, Welchy, and joining me tonight is Mr. Pop Figures himself, Andy.
Hello, guys. Yeah, excited to be back. Excited for this topic. It's obviously a different topic, I guess, for us. Talking about an experience other than, well, I know we'll talk about games later, but yeah, talking about actually meeting some voice actors from some big games.
It was about a year ago, Andy, that I think we had an episode about your time at Comic Con this time
It
last
probably
year.
was, yeah,
I
yeah,
can't remember what the title of that episode would have been. Maybe just Andy's experience at MCM Comic Con. And now I fast forward a year ahead, and I've been to the same one with you.
yep.
And yeah, a lot to talk about. There's a big group of people, but big group of people that attended. But before we get into all the goosey, well, I am really struggling. Juicy gossip, I should say. A quick
Yes.
bit of housekeeping. Of course, this is the Late Night Gamer podcast. We drop 2 episodes a week, typically on a Wednesday and a Friday, although this week it'd be Tuesday and Thursday. If you enjoy the podcast, please do consider following or subscribing on your favorite podcast service, and also leave a rating, as that really helps support the podcast. You can follow us on all major socials with the handle at the Late Night Pods, and you can join our Discord using the link in the podcast description if you want to chat movies, TV shows, and video games. If you're listening or watching on Spotify, you can now leave comments on there too. And of course, our podcast is available on YouTube if that is your platform of choice. Be sure to also check out the Late Night Pods on Twitch. Speaking of Twitch, our content schedule for the week beginning 27th of October looks like this. On Tuesday, you had our Ghost of Yote full review on the Late Night Gamer podcast, which was a great episode. Wednesday was our Mount Rushmore of horror movie villains on the Late Night Movie podcast. Thursday is this episode, which is us meeting Troy Baker and Christopher Judge and a few other games we've been playing. And Friday is our episode on the Late Night Movie podcast, where we discuss the scariest horror movies of all time in a Halloween special. And you'll want to stick around, or not stick around, you want to stay tuned and see the intro to that one. It's a bit different to what we normally do, let's just say that. I'm not going to do a rotating segment, Andy. It's just me and you. No point.
Yeah,
Because
that's fine.
it's always good to get it. Me just asking you a question is not as fun as you and Stephen competing.
Of
But
course.
let's talk about MCM Comic Con London. Probably said that wrong, but that's what I'm calling it. We went this weekend. You went Saturday and Sunday. Obviously, you got a few extra people to talk about.
Yes.
But in terms of gaming side, I guess the two most high profile people that were there were Troy Baker, who is one of probably the most high profile voice actors in games, full stop. Maybe next
Yes.
to Nolan North.
It,
And then Christopher Judge, Kratos himself. And I have worn my Kratos top today. Um, Obviously,
good choice for them.
people may have noticed in the movie podcast this week, I was wearing the Late Night Podcasts t-shirt, which I did wear to Comic Con. Didn't get anyone to ask about it, but that's fine. One day they will. But yeah, we met Troy and Christopher Judge. You met them both on Saturday. What was it like for
Yes.
you meeting them?
So obviously the good thing about having 2 days booked in is that I sort of knew Saturday was going to be a lot of meeting people, a lot of queuing up and waiting to obviously meet them and get signatures, get my collectible signed.
And you got
But
Pop
yeah,
Figures
it
signed,
was,
right?
I did. I actually got them right here next to me. So Joel from The Last of Us signed
Uh,
in the blue pen.
To Andy, then in signature. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So I always get them personalized to to me.
Yeah.
And
Is that
then,
because you're gonna keep them forever? Then these aren't ones you're ever gonna sell
yeah,
because it's got
no,
your signature. Because obviously, with a name
yeah,
on it, makes it less valuable, I guess.
yeah, it makes it, yeah. Obviously, I never plan to
But obviously,
anything that I'm getting signed. I know I'm signing it because I really like
yeah,
that game or
yeah, yeah.
movie or that actor. So I always get it personalized to myself. This is obviously Kratos again, signed signed in the blue pen that goes well with the box.
To Andy,
Um,
boy. Sick.
yeah,
Sign.
I was
I like
very
it when they
happy.
sign it as them and their character.
Yeah, yeah,
He didn't do
yeah.
that
It's
for you
very
on
cool.
Joel, did he?
No, he didn't actually write
He
Joel's
just did
name, but they
to
used.
Troy.
I don't know if he ran out of space because that obviously it's got stickers on and it's quite.
Oh right, yeah.
If I show you again, it's like there's not really much
Oh
space left.
yeah, yeah, fair. Yeah.
So I don't know if he done that and then realised that
He's
he
done
didn't have
too
enough
much.
space to do the character's name. Because they usually do write the character name on them.
Yeah.
I think I've got that on every other one. But yeah, no, it's so cool meeting Troy Baker. Um, Overall, it was surprisingly quick how quick his queue went once he actually came out. So obviously he was meant to come out at 10 o'clock for us on the Saturday. Didn't come out until like quarter to 10 to 11. So there was a bit of there was a 45-minute wait before he actually came out. So it felt longer, but in terms of once he came out and the queue started moving, it was probably like 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Um, and then obviously when we got up there, I always get a bit sort of starstruck and like,
Yeah.
can't believe I'm meeting this person. Like
Yeah.
we speak about them being in games and the characters that they play and stuff. Um, I can't remember if I actually asked him anything. Um, I was trying to think if I did or not, but I don't. I remember obviously asking McLovin about his favorite movie, and um, when I spoke to John, who plays Punisher, I said to him that I met Charlie in August, and I've now got Daredevil and Punisher together. It's like pretty cool. But when I got up to Troy, I was like a bit like, yeah, didn't know what to say.
It's funny
So,
that you were
like,
starstruck by Troy because John Berthnell is like,
yeah,
to
but
me, I
I
think
just
of him
knew
as a not A-list or anything, but a major
he,
celebrity.
yeah, but I felt like with Troy, you had more time. So it was like, where with John, it's like, oh, hi, nice to meet
Quick.
you.
Yeah.
You love your stuff, bye. So it's like less pressure.
Mhm.
Whereas with Troy, obviously, he was a bit more engaging and stuff. So it's like, shit, what the fuck do I actually say?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was obviously cool meeting him and getting obviously the concert as well. That was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Seeing that and yeah, Joel alive on stage basically
Yeah.
was pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I only got to meet those two. You also met Atreus, Sonny.
Yes,
You had a bit
yes,
more time with him.
yeah. He was obviously his queue was a lot shorter. I think when we queued up to see him, there was like one person in front of us,
Mhm.
um, and then there was like no one behind us, or maybe one person behind us. So we actually had a decent conversation with him. Obviously, he was talking about the filming and sort of doing his lines and stuff. And I sort of said to him that I'd seen a video of him wearing the suit, and he was sort of obviously going into more detail about that and how they had to put like 39 or however many like pins in his head
For the
on his
mocap.
face.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So he was talking about that and stuff. So yeah, it's good when they don't have a queue, obviously,
You
but they're
feel
going to be
like,
the less popular guests.
yeah.
But you get more of an interaction with them.
It's
You can
kind
ask
of
them more
interesting to
questions.
me because Christopher Judge's queue was mental. Like when I was there.
He I felt like other than Joseph Quinn, which was obviously a different scenario because obviously he was Saturday only. I
Yes.
feel like Christopher Judge was the longest queue, and
Yeah.
it like you, I felt it was quicker to meet Punisher and Troy Baker
Yeah.
than to and then Christopher Judge was like the longest one out of those three. I was
I
like, bloody
think,
hell, like is he that like
well, I think
popular? I know
Kratos
he's
is. I think Kratos is like,
yeah.
and maybe I'm biased, but a lot of people love Kratos. Um,
Yeah, but he's like, well, obviously, I know he was in Stargate, which I had never watched, so I don't care about it. But other than that, I thought he was very specific to Kratos. Whereas you
yes.
got Troy Baker, who, like I said,
A
when we was
wide
queuing up,
range. Yeah.
there's people with anime pops in that I didn't know. I don't know what character he voices in anime.
No.
But there was anime. There was someone had a Far Cry 3 case that they just got signed, walked past
Far Cry
us,
4, I think.
or yeah, one of the
Yeah.
Far Cry games. Um, So he's in obviously in a range of games where you
Hmm.
think he should have the longest queue because you're going to have The Last of Us, you're going to have maybe God of War as well with him playing Skyrim. Obviously, he's got a high range of selected games, and it's like, but no, Christopher Judge was killing it. His queue was always the same length.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it when we finished Troy. We went straight to John, the Punisher. His queue like was like barely anything. Like I was able to jump out
That's,
Troy's queue, jump into his queue, and got seen within like 10, 15
that's
minutes. And I
crazy
was
to
like,
me.
I thought, based on what people were saying in the comments and stuff, especially when he got announced, that he was going to be crazy because obviously he was announced. Maybe this played in my favor actually, but because he was announced quite last minute, John.
Hmm.
I was originally going to see Carl Urban, but when he got announced, I was like, yeah, I've got to see the Punisher instead.
Hmm.
Um, so it was crazy how short his queue was, considering how popular I thought he was going to be. Like throughout the whole day, I thought it was going to be like a 2 hour queue time for him,
Yeah.
but no, 20 minutes and got my pop sign. I was like, wow, that's mental.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. Obviously, he's The Walking Dead and The Punisher and other
Yes.
stuff. Um, so I thought it'd be very popular. Yeah, I obviously didn't get to meet Sonny. He had to get a flight and then missed his flight according to Instagram. So bit
Yeah.
pissed
Did
off
you
about
see it?
that.
Obviously,
I
I know
didn't
I
see it. No,
told
I
you,
just
but
heard what you said.
no.
But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to meet both Kratos and Atreus. And it surprised me that his queue was so short because if everyone there is Christopher Judge is a massive fan of God of War, you know who Sonny is, and you
Yeah.
know that he's Atreus, and you know that there comes a two, right? Yes, Kratos is everyone's favorite, fine, but it's still Atreus. And I guess the one thing is these things cost a fair bit of money, and I guess
Yeah.
not
That's the
everyone
main
has
thing I
money
was
to do
thinking.
everything. And if you're going to get one, you get Kratos. I 100% get that, but it's I don't know. For me, I
I
feel like it's going to be bigger than what you're saying it was anyway.
Yeah, I assumed it would be bigger as well. Maybe that's why I don't know if he was scheduled to leave at the time that he left or whether they made that decision based on he wasn't
Popularity,
actually
yeah.
getting a lot of people go up to him. Um, and yeah, obviously going back to LA, pretty thought I don't really want to wait around any longer than I need to.
Hmm.
Um, but I did think he would have more people there, like you say. Obviously, I know cost is a thing, but Sunny was very cheap to me compared to like
Yeah,
everyone else. So if you're paying £80 to meet Christopher Judge, it's £30 to meet Sunny. I feel like you have to do that now because obviously he's going to be in the next God of War game.
we
I feel
assume
like
so.
Sunny's
I don't know. You don't know what route they're taking, but yeah,
yeah, Sunny's going to get bigger. Like he's going to if he keeps doing voice acting, goes into other games. I assume that he has the potential to become bigger as well.
yep,
So he'll probably go up and up in price. And then all of a sudden, you wanting to get your Atreus pop sign, it's going to be a lot more for the pop because it gets rarer, a lot more for the signature if it goes up. But yeah, it seems like a good opportunity to get both of them. And if you're going for Christopher Judge and Sonny's only £30 to get a pop signed or whatever signed picture, I feel like that's a no-brainer really, and you'd find a way to sort of make that work. But yeah, obviously it is a lot of money paying for the entry tickets and autographs and stuff. So
it is.
completely get it.
Yeah, and I was gonna get something signed. Well, I might as well show it. Um, I didn't get pop signed. I got my original cases signed. So this is my God of War one. Um, Signed by obviously Christopher Judge, where he put boy and his signature and
Yeah.
Kratos at the
I'm
bottom.
glad he wrote boy because that's what I was going to say. Like it was so the annoying thing that they do is they obviously tell you the prices on the website, £80 for an autograph, £90, however much it is. But then you get there and they do all these bloody add-ons. And
Yep,
obviously I know from past experiences that they're going to do that. So
yep.
I'm prepared for it. I don't know, you never know how much it's going to be. Some guests try to charge an extra 20, some an extra £10, but you just never know. So I wish they would just stick with what they say on the website and that's final price. But anyway, when we obviously got to the queue for Christopher Judge, I was speaking to my friend James, and the quote I wanted anyway was "boy,"
Yeah,
just because obviously it's iconic. And I got Atreus to say whatever on the side of his one, so now I feel like Kratos is saying "boy" and he's saying like whatever to him. But because it was £20 for a quote, I didn't want to pay £20 just for him to write "boy" on it. It didn't seem
yeah, yeah, yeah.
value for money sort of thing. But as soon as he started signing it, realized he writes "boy" on bloody everything he signs anyway. So I was like, oh, that's perfect. I got my quote that I wanted, and I didn't pay that extra £20, so it's like perfect.
So
Yeah,
I wasn't as aware of that, and when I met Troy, I walked up and the guy who handles the money was like, "Oh, what do you want?" I was like, "I want this signed." And he said, "Oh, is there a quote you had in mind? Like, do you want a quote?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll have 'I swear,' which is Joel's famous
yeah,
final words on the Last of Us Part One." And he said, "Okay,
yeah,
that'd be a 20 extra." I was like, "Oh fuck, I forgot about the extra."
yeah.
And I was to the point where I was like, so nervous about meeting Troy.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
also didn't really want to say, actually, no, I'm going to be a bit tight here and say no to that. I was like, oh, yeah, that's fine.
Oh no,
And
you
then
should just did it.
paid,
Especially when it's such a short quote. You think £20 just right? I swear, it's like, come on, like, why is there
but,
additional cost for that?
but this looks so
But
good. It's got,
yeah,
I swear, signed by Troy and then also signed by Joel. Um,
it does look really nice in the gold pen as
the
well.
gold pen on the kind of dark or black
Yeah,
background.
it
Um,
stands out really well.
I'm over the moon with both of them. And obviously, the God of War one has room for Atreus one day to hopefully sign it, or Sonny, I should say. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was amazing meeting
I,
both of them. Obviously, two of my favorite, sorry, I'm going to cough, characters and obviously voice actors. Troy, I was on the train up there, I was looking at what other games Troy's done because I was thinking, trying to think of things to talk to him about
yeah,
if I
yeah,
had time, not knowing he wouldn't have much time. And his list of games is a joke. Like it's an actual joke. And there's games you're like, oh shit, that's him. Like it's actually
yeah,
insane.
yeah.
So he plays the
I
main
remember you
character
saying,
in
yeah,
Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor. I didn't know that.
yeah.
I mean, back then I didn't
No,
really
yeah,
care as much about voice actors and stuff, but he plays the main character in Infamous Second Son. These are all games I
yeah.
love, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I could literally be going here for any game, like not just The Last of Us. Obviously, he's
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Batman games. He's in what was it? He's in the Uncharted games. He's Samuel Drake. He's
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Nate's brother. So he's in so many things, and I thought his cube was bigger than Christopher Judge's. It was very close, but I do think Christopher Judge maybe just pipped him. Um, but obviously, we saw him in concert. It was great. But I did get a chance to obviously speak to Troy. And as he was signing, I said, "Look, I've got a podcast. Is it okay if I ask you a question for it?"
Oh, yeah, you've got questions. I forgot about that. I don't
Yeah.
even know what these are.
So
Yep.
I asked him, "Is there any game or character that you would have loved to have played that you didn't get the chance to?"
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't want to say like, "Oh, what was your favorite moment in The Last of Us?" It's like it's a standard
Yeah,
question,
yeah.
and he'd have a standard answer ready. I wanted to get him like not off guard, but something a bit different.
Can I make a
And
guess
yeah,
for you? I'm going to say Captain Price from Call of Duty.
so, so he said the first thing he said was no, and I was
Really?
like, I'm not ready for a second question. Like, I didn't have a second question
Yeah,
ready, and
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, this is so disappointing. He just said no. And he said, but then he elaborated, which was great. And I want to
Yeah,
say
okay.
Troy was amazing. He actually, I felt like I was there for quite a while, like when I was talking to him.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I'm paraphrasing here, and I don't want to get him in trouble because there's nothing he said that can get him in trouble. There's no like breaking news here. But he said any character that he has loved or like has seen and watched or loved in a game, he wouldn't want to take that role away from that actor because he loves it because of the actor's the way of doing it,
Okay,
which I
yeah.
thought was very valid. And he said he isn't cocky enough or big headed enough to say, "Oh, I could do that better." Like he thinks they did it the way because he loves it. It's because of the actor. And I thought, okay, that's fair.
Okay.
And then without me even prompting it, he said he's really really excited by his next characters that are coming up.
Uh,
And he said they could be his best. He would say that. Don't get me
okay.
wrong.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, is there going to be some juicy gossip here? I said, oh, really? And then he went, yeah, particularly intergalactic,
Okay.
intergalactic heretic prophet. And he said, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said this. He said that role scares him. So it's obviously quite a
Scares
challenging,
him.
good role. Um,
Oh, I wonder if he's a villain.
I don't know, but I said, and I said, oh, have you wrapped up have you wrapped up your like, performance in that? He said, oh no, we're very much still in it, which I was really
Okay.
hoping by asking that. If he said, oh yeah,
He'd
I'm
be
done,
like,
I'd be like, that game is coming soon.
it's coming soon. Yeah, yeah.
But he was like, oh no, we're very much still in the booth. I was like, oh, okay, fuck.
Or maybe he
um,
just said that for you.
again, yeah, but
He's like,
to
yeah,
be fair, he did kind of like giggle at it, almost not giggle, but like laugh it off.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, no juicy gossip. But I think it's cool that he's really excited for his role in that,
yeah, yeah.
which I guess you naturally
Definitely.
would be. But then I said, "Oh, okay. What about a game that you'd love to have been in?" And he thought about that a bit longer, and he said probably GTA or Red Dead. And then he said, if I had to pick more Red Dead, he said it would have been more fun to be in that world. Um,
Yeah.
and then he went on to say he can't wait to play the game The Alters, which came out this year, and said that's the kind of role he would love to do as well because you get to play the same character in multiple different versions. So I think it's one of those games where it's like you die and you start again kind of thing. I'm guessing that's what it's like. I've not
Okay.
played it and looked much into it, but he pointed that one out as well, which I thought was cool. So that was a really cool interaction. He was great,
Yeah, definitely.
and I wasn't expecting to get that much from him, especially a bit of intergalactic stuff, um, which was really cool. I asked the same question to Christopher Judge, and again he went no. I was like, oh, this is
It must be
fucking
a standard thing that
yeah.
they do.
But
Yeah.
I think they've played the best act characters, right? So Christopher Judge, I said, "Oh, what about a game then?" And he said he really wants a Def Jam Fight for New York reboot.
Def Jam. Okay, I love that.
He said he's really wants it. He really wants a reboot, and he said that he, again paraphrasing, but he said that's basically the only game he'd consider doing. And I was like,
Oh shit. Well, there
okay,
you go.
that's interesting. And he said the reason for that is where do you go after being Kratos? And I was like, fair enough. Like
That's true.
you
Yeah.
literally hit the top in my mind anyway. Like there's not really many places you can go. Um, that's all I
Did you
got
say
from
what about
him.
the
It
TV
was
show?
no. You see, that's so annoying you say that, Andy, because the whole way I was queuing up, I was thinking when I leave, I'm gonna say like a little sneaky one, like, "Oh, I can't wait to see you in the TV show,"
Yeah, yeah. See what
and
he
you see what he
says
said.
or
And
reacts.
I left. I
Yeah.
walked away, and I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't say it."
Yeah.
It's one of those things
Yeah.
where I'm
It
so.
happens.
And again, they're two of my favorite voice actors in games. I was starstruck, but because I had that question ready, I was able to kind of just blurt it out. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was gutted I didn't get to say that because it would have been cool for him to say, "Unfortunately not," or "Yeah, see you soon," or something like that.
Yeah. Imagine if he did just slip up like, yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, it'd be out next year. Um,
Yeah.
but no, even though I got less out of him, he was really cool. I said, "Oh, it's where's Sunny?" Because obviously I wanted to meet Sunny. He said, "Oh, he had to go home for work or whatever." Um, so he was still really cool to meet. Again, so weird meeting these characters that you love, and I don't think it's really hit me until maybe I play those games again, where I'm like, I fucking met these
Yeah.
people. Um,
I feel like you can tell like Christopher Judge is Kratos as well. Like if that makes sense. He feels like he is Kratos. Like yeah, he just feels like he's Kratos. Whereas like there's other people you might meet who because they play so many other characters, it's like and the way that they look. I feel like Christopher Judge, you can compare him more to Kratos, even like his build, like he's
yeah,
massive as well.
he's a big guy.
It's like he could, yeah, he could be a fucking god if he wanted to.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I'm glad that you got a good experience from Troy and Chris because I was thinking like when we obviously spoke to Sonny, we got a massive chat with him, and I didn't want you to have like a quick
and miss out on
experience
Sunny.
with Troy and
Yeah,
then miss out on like a really good interaction with Sonny. But obviously,
yeah,
it sounds like you got a good interaction with both of them anyway. So
yeah. I'm gutted I didn't get to meet Sunny. Because I'd love to have that case signed by both. I've mentioned to you, I was gonna just get the God of War signed by all three of them because I thought, how cool would that be? No one
yeah,
really, I don't think anyone out in the world there would be able to say Christopher Judge, Sunny, and Troy have signed their God of War case. Obviously, Troy is a much smaller part of that game, but there's
yes,
room on there. Maybe if I meet Troy again,
there
I'll be
is.
like, you know what? Here's another one. I don't think I'll do that though. But I will get Atreus hopefully, and then maybe if I meet Freya or someone, or
Yeah, of
Mimir.
course.
Mimir would be an amazing
They
one.
they
Um,
have both done cons, so hopefully at one point
yeah,
they will be going to MCM London. Um, yeah, the only other the other good thing about Troy is how cheap he still is. He was like similar price when he was announced a few years ago,
hmm
like around the £55.60 mark. When he got announced for this one, I thought, oh, he's pretty going to be price is surely going to be going up. He's done Indiana Jones. He keeps doing these
mm.
big roles.
Yeah, I forgot
He's
about Indiana
becoming one of the
Jones.
big. He's one of the biggest voice actors in the industry. It's like, and then you saw it. You see his price, and it's £55. And then with the selfies on, everyone else
He was
charging
50.
almost. So
Christopher Judge was
what? Troy?
55. Troy was 50.
Oh yeah, yeah. But then like with the add-ons, like for I think it was 80 for me to meet Christopher Judge in terms of getting my Funko Pop signed
Oh,
because it's a collectible.
because it's collectible. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you get a poster signed, it's 55. Troy being 50, it was 60 to get a Funko Pop
Sorry. Yeah.
signed.
Fine. Yeah.
Um, but then it's like everyone else. So for example, McLovin, it was £60 to get an autograph and then £60 for a selfie.
Mm.
With John, it was £80 for an autograph, £80 to get a selfie. And you're thinking that's double the price. Got up to Troy and it's like, oh, it's 10.
£10
It's ten
for a
pound even.
selfie.
Like,
Yeah.
£10. yeah, fuck hell, yeah, of course. And it's like, oh, why don't other people do that? Because they'd probably be making more money if they done that. If they do it as a combo, because they know
Yeah.
maybe they don't want to announce it. Like if it's £10 a selfie, people might queue up to get a selfie,
Rather than buy the
makes the
photos.
line
I
a lot
get that.
longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But if they do it as the combo deal, you get an autograph plus £10 for a selfie. I'd do that for everyone that I met. Um,
Oh, easy.
so
I would wish Christopher
yeah,
Judge did that.
yeah. So
Um,
I feel that's fair on his fans. Like he could easily charge more. I'd happily pay more for Troy Baker. So it's good to know that he's still like keeping down to earth, I guess.
yeah. Another thing we should say is that I did ask Troy if The Last of Us is a horror game,
Did you actually?
and he said yes.
Hey, this guy.
No,
That's
I didn't
funny.
really.
You
That's,
should have
that's
kept it.
that's one for the Discord because obviously I put in Discord that I did ask him. But no, I
Yeah,
didn't. I
yeah,
didn't ask. I wasn't going to ask him that because he was either going to say, "Oh yeah, of course it is," or "Of course it's not." So I was like, I don't want to do that.
yeah.
I should have said, "Oh, there's this running joke in the podcast. Can you answer it?" But I was too starstruck
Do
to
you
even
mind
think
joining the?
about
Do
it.
you mind joining the Discord or answering
Can
for us?
you imagine that someone Troy Baker official joins?
I should
Um,
make a fake account now. Just call it Troy Baker. Like jump in the Discord and answer the question.
we also, well, you played for a little bit, I think. We got a chance to play Little Nightmares 3. There was a
Yep.
booth there to play that. It seems interesting. It's something after playing that as 4, actually, I probably would like this kind of game if I sat down and gave it a chance. And I messaged you today saying I've got Little Nightmares 1 and 2. Have you got them? And unfortunately, you haven't. Um, but I thought it was cool. I really wanted to play Lego Batman because that is obviously not even out until sometime next year. And the queue to
Yes.
play that game was insane.
Yeah.
um,
It's something that they obviously didn't have as many screens for that because
no,
Little Nightmares had those three and then another three
yeah,
behind
yeah,
it.
9 screens
I
or
think,
something.
yeah, I think you only had three for the Lego Batman. So I feel like if they had the nine screens for that as well,
Yeah,
which they probably should have had more for that instead of Little Nightmares, um, then the queue wouldn't have been so big. But yeah, it was massive.
I think if I done what you done and done multiple days, I would have spent the time to sit there and wait in the queue.
Yeah, yeah,
Because it's something that I would have liked to have played and been able to come on this podcast and say, "Oh, I've played it." Um, but unfortunately not. I did get a chance to play 5 or 10 minutes. You'll probably be a better example of how long it took because while I was playing it, you was obviously standing there watching. Of a game called Anno 117, Pax Romana, I think it was called, which is basically,
yes,
and sorry to the game, but I'm going to call it an Age of Empires kind of game. I know there have been Anno games before. I didn't get to play too long. What I will say is it looks visually incredible for what I was playing. I was really
yes, they did
impressed.
that
I
really good.
zoomed all the way out and zoomed all the way in, and when you zoomed all the way in, I was like, bloody hell, they've got a lot of detail
The
here.
features, yeah,
Um, but I didn't have enough time of it to really get to grips with all the controls. Again, I'm not a PC gamer, so I was like really struggling. Um, but I could see potential there for sure. But again, didn't get enough time to really give a proper preview on it.
yeah. I think with those games, you do need like it takes a good like hour or two just to settle in
Yes.
to get going anyway.
Yeah.
It is the sort of game that you can just end up spending hours on without even realizing, just because of all the build up to it.
Yeah.
The lady that was there was the media manager, and uh, James asked her a question like, "Oh, is this similar to sort of Civilization?" I feel like she got really offended by that and sort of tried to say why it was different to it. But then, like her reasons, she was like, "Oh no, it's like more resource building and stuff." And I haven't played like Civilization, but I was like, most of these games are like resource like
Yeah.
building up and stuff
I think
first. Like,
Civilization is actually slightly different.
oh,
Um,
okay,
compared to this is more akin to Age of Empires. I think Civilization is just slightly different. I don't think it's resource based, whereas
oh,
other
okay,
games like these are. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I agree. You need much more time to sit with this, and I mean, could have sat there, but I didn't want to. There's a lot of stuff to do. But there was also like a 2 to 3 minute intro cutscene thing, and I was like, you don't need to show this to people coming sitting down on the show floor. Like, cut this
yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Let's get straight into
Just
the game
go
because
straight to the
not
gameplay.
everyone here is
Yeah,
going to sit here for hours. Like you want to get them straight in, but that's just one of those things. I think it was probably just the full release of the game because it's coming out
no,
in
it's
like
a demo.
weeks. Oh, okay, it's a demo.
She
Okay,
said it was a demo. Yeah,
Fine. Which you can probably get now. I'm sure it's on Steam and stuff. So anyone who wants
Yeah.
to give it a go can give it a go. Um, Anything else about the show before we move on to what we've been playing? I didn't get to meet anyone else.
Um,
Obviously, saw the Detroit Become Human people. They were right next to Troy Baker. They seemed really cool. I could see and hear some of the interactions. They seemed amazingly nice. Wish I could have met them. Time and money just wouldn't allow it.
it is annoying because there's obviously I like getting Funko Pop signed. It's the things. It's what I collect.
Yeah.
Maybe when I move out and I'll probably get a lot more posters. Obviously, I had the chance to meet Fixstar, so any sort of
Mm.
sidemen fan there. That was a we got quite lucky with that because he was doing like a Lego challenge, and me and my friend James joined at the end of the Lego challenge. So we only saw like 2 minutes of him doing the actual challenge, and then obviously there's like, oh, he's going to take a 5 minute break and then come back out to do the meet and greet and stuff. And when they was deciding where to do the queue from, where we were standing is basically where they started the queue. So we was like front in. We just joined the last 2 minutes, and all of a sudden we're front of the line to meet Fixstar. So that was pretty cool. We didn't have to wait. That's the quickest wait queue that we had. So yeah, got to speak to him. He said he's got a he was asked. Well, I asked him about the Cybermen Sunday videos because I quite enjoy watching some of those. Me and Beth watched the game show ones. So he started talking about those, and he's said he's got a new one coming in sort of 2 weeks time, a new game show one. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, it was pretty cool meeting him. The fact it was free, they signed a free poster for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just another. It just shows you how many different elements there are to MCM
Yeah.
because we only found out about that last second, and there was also Josh, Cirxa, his name,
Exactly.
Josh from
Yeah.
Sidemen. He was there on the Saturday as well, and we didn't even know.
Mm.
There's all like these other little things that go on in MCM which make it better because then it's not overcrowded and stuff when you do go to these things. I feel like if they announced it and made a big thing out of it, it would have like overflown
With Sidemen fans.
Kickstar.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just cool that there's so many different things to do that you can go and experience. It doesn't matter sort of what type of if you're a gamer or into movies, into books or artists, whatever it is, there's like something there for everyone. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. It was really
But
good.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
Um, I'm going to cherish those games now I've got. And I went when I was in the loft the other day. I think I messaged you about it. I haven't got many physical games at all anymore. Um, and I forgot I had Last of
Yeah.
Us, which is why I was going to get God of War signed. And I saw I had, I think, four God Gears of War games, one, two, three, and four, maybe. Um,
Yeah.
and two, three, and at least two and three are limited editions as well. So
Oh, there
getting
you
those
go.
signed would be
Make sure you keep
insane.
those.
Um,
Yeah.
but then I also had Resident Evil 7. So if I was to meet anyone from that game, that would
It's
be amazing to
possible.
get signed. So,
Yeah,
um,
it's cool that we got to see Ben Starr as well. Obviously, when we was
oh,
queuing up for,
yeah,
I think was it Troy Baker or Chris
Christopher Judge
Judge?
is
Must have been
near.
Troy. But no, it must have been Troy Baker because on the other side of Chris Judge was Sunny. So I think Troy Baker, and
On
then it
the
was
on the
Ben Starr.
s- on the Sunday, it was Chris Judge, then Sonny, then Ben. For me, anyway.
Oh, okay.
It might have been different on a Saturday, but that's what it was on a Sunday.
No, it must have been the same.
Because I saw
But
him
yeah,
as well,
just
and I was
being in
like,
there
oh
thinking,
man,
yeah, I just wish there was a first low pop out. Like, I
yep,
wish they'd done Expedition 33 pops in time for me to meet him.
yep,
And it was like it's still cool seeing him and everyone in this queue. There's like always like 3, 4 people dressed up as
the French,
Expedition.
yeah,
Yeah, the French girl. Yeah, um,
everyone who
that's cool.
dressed up as Expedition 33 was in that French costume. There was no one in anything
Yeah,
else.
you noticed it straight away. The stripes.
Yeah,
They usually had a
the word of
baguette
baguette.
roll
Yeah,
with them.
yeah,
Yeah, it was quality.
it was good, but I thought someone could have done like a proper verso outfit, but whatever. Um,
I'm sure there was one there that we probably didn't see, but
yeah, let's talk about some games. What we've been playing. You've been playing more
yes,
Blueprints. You
I
think
have.
last week you
Yep.
was only like 3 or 4 hours in. You put a lot more time in.
I can't remember that picture I sent in. Obviously, had the hours on it. I think it was 11 hours then. I don't know. I ended up playing
Was that in
maybe over
Discord
another
or
hour
to
tonight.
us?
I think it was in Discord.
I'll
Yeah.
have a look.
Um, but yeah, it's over 10 hours, probably approaching the 13-hour mark now. Um, But it's an incredible game. Like I'm gonna say it again, you need to play it before the end of the year
Mhm.
because there's just so many different levels to it. And from when I was speaking about it last time, I thought, oh, surely I've got to a point where I've learned and discovered most things, and now it's sort of just trying to figure out what the best strategy is. But uh, since playing more, there's puzzles that I realized that I could have solved earlier that I didn't even know were puzzles. And so I'll give you a little tip. Make sure you read the letters and random shit that you find around the house because
Okay.
apparently they help with certain things. And if I paid more attention to them at the start of the game, I probably would have progressed quicker, which I realize now. So I've started unlocking more things. There's more levels to it. There's more puzzles. It's just so cool. It's a fun game. I'm enjoying it so much, and then yeah, hopefully I'll be able to complete it before the end of the year.
Do you
But
feel
yeah,
like you're
I there's
close?
still no, I don't because each every time I go on it, I end up learning finding out there's new runes that I didn't even know existed,
Yeah.
and then I find out there's more. Like I don't want to say give too much away because I don't want to ruin the experience by giving too much away to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just so many different levels to it that I think that I've uncovered all the different levels and the layers, and then I'll play it again, and then all of a sudden, new room, new puzzle, new something to figure out, and how do I do that? New items that I never knew existed, and then yeah, so there's so many different levels to it and layers. It's a quality puzzle game. I didn't realize how much I was going to enjoy it and sort of want to beat it um, until I'd played it. So yeah, I definitely recommend anyone doubting yourself if you're reading the description of it because I've done the same thing. I was thinking, hearing people talking about it being a puzzle game with all these different rooms, I'm thinking, sounds a bit weird. Like, am I going to find this difficult? It is obviously not. It's not a simple puzzle game, but the puzzles are simple themselves. But because there's so many different layers to it, it's you have to think very smart about how to approach it. And I think that's the good thing about it. But yeah, definitely recommend anyone playing it. And I haven't even completed it yet, so that just shows how good I think it is.
Yeah, it's high on my list to do. Again, I just turned on my PlayStation this morning. I had like 5 minutes. So I just like sometimes just like to look at the store and see if there's anything on offer and stuff. And I
Yeah,
deleted a load of stuff off my drive. I'll talk about it well, I might as well talk about it now. I tried playing Resident Evil 2, the original version, this week.
that
Um,
was quite fun to watch as well.
and that lasted a total of 15 minutes because I hate the controls in that game. The tank controls are terrible. I'm sure it's an amazing game. The remake is incredible. Um, but I cannot do tank controls. I don't know how people back then used to play these games because it's fucking horrendous. Um, so yeah, I've deleted that swiftly off my hard drive, and I deleted other stuff like Mortal Kombat 1 that I've not played in ages, and Helldivers 2. First time I deleted that game because I just haven't played it in so long.
Oh,
Um, Again, I could easily download it, but I have been playing and have beaten, or say should I say, platinumed Rematch.
yes.
Um,
Second person on the podcast to do it.
yeah, it was easier than I thought because obviously I think last time I said that all I had to do was um, win a ranked match and win three of those in a row. And the first match I didn't go too well. Second match I won, brilliant. I was like, here we go. That's one trophy done, one left to go. All I've got to do is win two more matches in a row, and then lost straight away. Bear in mind I was playing on my
Yeah,
own, um, and if you just get the wrong teammates or come up against a really good team, it's just tough. Luckily, Jack joined the Twitch chat and said he'll come on. So he joined. First match, he joins. We start the kickoff. He disconnects. I was like, fuck me. So it's 2 against 3 at that point. And me and this guy held our own. Like we were doing really well. It was like tight. I think we actually was winning at one point. Eventually, Jack joined right at the end, but it was too late. It was scores like 4-2 at that point.
yeah.
And we lost. So still had to wait to get three in a row. But from then, I mean, I'm gonna give Jack a lot of praise here. He was on fire. Like he was like, I'm not
He's
sure how
playing
good I'm
well.
gonna be because I've not played in ages. My God, some of the tricks and like goals he scored were insane. Um, and we got very
So basically,
fortunate.
got the pattern for you.
Well, essentially, I mean, I was playing. Not going to toot my own horn, but I was playing pretty decent as well. Um, and we had a good teammate. A couple of times we had the same teammate teammate in a couple matches in a row, which was nice. But
Oh,
then
that's good. Yeah.
on the third match, we had someone new. It was like, oh, cut. Like I said, we won those two
Please don't fuck
matches.
this up.
I was like,
Yeah.
I have to win this one. I said to Jack before that match, I said, Jack, no pressure, but we have to win this one because otherwise I don't know when this is
That's
going to
not
happen.
pressure.
Um,
Yeah.
and we went like 3-0 up pretty quick. Got a bit
Oh,
cocky, went
okay. And then you got
3-1.
the
I was
nice
like,
one.
no, 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 come on, we need to do this. And it was fine. Um, it's one of those trophies that the match ended. I was like, oh, finally. It took a while to pop. I was
Yeah.
like, uh-oh, is this trophy just forever
Is it
fucked for
glitched out?
me? Yeah, like I've won
Yeah.
3 matches on normal mode. Now I've done it on ranked. Is it just never going to happen? And eventually it popped. I was like, thank God for that. Um, so that's my 50th platinum, which sounds like a lot. Um,
It is.
it is a lot, not compared to a lot of people I know. Um, but I'm proud of that one. I like. There was a time where I'd platinum games just for the sake of platinum in them. Um, in the year 2021, I set myself a challenge of getting a platinum for every month of the year, 12 platinums,
Yes.
and I did that. I was pretty happy with that. But there were some of those where I was like, they were not the best platinums. So, for example, the Telltale's Game of Thrones game. I don't
Yes.
like Game of Thrones,
Quite easy
but
to
I had
get.
it for free, and I was like, all I have to do is beat this game and I get a platinum, so I'm gonna fucking do it. Um, I think the rest of them were genuine platinums from memory. Um, but since doing this podcast, I've kind of slowed down on my trophy hunts because a lot of the time I'm playing new games to talk about them rather than sticking with a game and finishing them and platinuming them. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Of course.
so I don't know what my last platinum was last year. Um, oh, Astrobot probably my most recent one. Um, obviously I've got God of War Ragnarok recently, Spider-Man 2. So I tend to platinum the games I love, hence those games
Yeah,
I just
that makes
mentioned.
more sense. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's going to kind of be my mantra going forward is that I've hit the big 50. 100 I know is next, but that's just way too far away. But I do want to do Yote, and I think it won't be too difficult. Um, and now I've beat the game in normal. I'm not that sad to say. I'd happily move it down to easy just to get the platinum ticked off. I don't want to frustrate myself and get angry with the
Yeah.
game just
I,
for a trophy.
I don't think there's anything now in Ghost of Yoti where it'll make a difference being on like normal
Did
in
you?
terms of the trophies.
Then I never did any of these actually. We didn't mention this in the review. The dueling trees. Did you do any of them?
The what trees?
You might not even come across them. You meet this guy and he says there's these trees with a load of like paper on them. They're called dueling
Oh no.
trees. You haven't even found
No,
them. Wow.
I didn't see any of those.
So there's
Okay.
these trees, and I think once you've taken down all of the people, basically there's like this. What's the word? Not law, myth. It's this belief that there's this man who's like the ultimate jeweler.
Oh, okay. Yep, yep.
And there's these people that fight at these trees, and you have to win at all of them for this guy to come and take you on. And my worry is that this final guy, that once you've done them all, is going to be fucking
Might be
tough.
difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't actually do them because it was so early on in the game, like my first few hours, that I saw this tree thing, and I was like, "That's end game for me. I'm not doing that
Yeah.
in the middle of the
I didn't
game."
even see one of those. I know we're going back to Ghost Yote here, but I forgot to say it as well in the review. Um, did you have a like bamboo strike where there was like lightning coming
Yeah,
down and striking around you, and it wouldn't let you do it, and then you had to do something to get rid of the
you had to move all the
the
spears.
lightning. Yeah, yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
But at first, I was like, how the fuck am I meant to get rid of that? I was like, I just kept doing it, thinking, did I? At first, I thought, did I just get unlucky with the timing when I went to strike it? So I done it again, got striked by it again. I was like, okay, what the fuck do I have to do here? But I thought that was quite cool.
yeah. They tried their best to make them all slightly different. There's one you had to do it
Yeah.
drunk. Did you do that one?
No, I don't think I've done a one though.
There's one where you have to drink 2 bottles of sake before doing it. Um,
Okay.
that's a fun one to do.
Uh,
There's like little variances in all of them.
yeah.
And there's obviously one, I think you did it as well, where you had to do it, and if you did it, they'd give you their hat.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like the
for that
big
one.
massive
Yeah.
helmet one,
Yeah.
which is pretty funny. But yeah, other than rematch, and I think that's what I was last talking about. The only thing I've been playing is Pokemon Legends Z to A. Um,
Yes.
in my early review, I was 9 hours in. I'm now 13, so only 4 hours this week. focus has been Ghost of Yotei, obviously. My thoughts haven't changed. Still really enjoying it. I know that Jack has gone on to complete the whole Pokedex. He is like,
He's definitely put in a lot of hours into that game.
yeah, I haven't got my Switch 2 here, so I can't actually see how many hours he's done. But um, I know that he's essentially now just collecting shinies, which is a cool place to be where you're just literally logging on, hoping to find shinies. I don't think
Yeah,
I'm ever going to get to that point just because of other games I'm playing. And I mean, I'm only 13 hours in now, but every time I talk to Jack, he's loving the game. The reason he's not on or wasn't on the Ghost Yoto review is because he can't pull himself away from Pokemon at the minute. Um, and I get it because every time I play it, I'm having so much fun. Um, and I will continue to play it. It's just with Outer Worlds 2 coming out, Black Ops 7 coming out, Metroid Prime 4 comes out in December. There's still so many things
yes,
to play.
excited.
And obviously, that's part of your open Fantasy Critic League.
My it is need it to score 100, please.
Um, but yeah, is there anything else you've been playing, Andy, other than Blueprints?
No, I've obviously busy weekend.
Mm,
Obviously, last thing I was focused on was Ghost of Yotei. I was debating trying to play something before the podcast to be able to speak about it, but I ended up loading up Blueprints to
Blueprints.
play more of that. So yeah, I think that's what I'll be playing sort of more long term until I hopefully complete it. But yeah, debating obviously certain games whether we get Little Nightmares 3, might play that before the end of the year. But yeah, not sure what I'll be playing. But I'll definitely be playing Blueprints. But I feel like that's a game that I can pick up and play an hour off,
Yeah.
so I can play that alongside another main game sort of thing.
So you don't know what your next
So
game's
just
going to be?
not yet.
Okay,
I
so
have
I think
a
you do, but you don't want to say it. Okay.
I have an idea. I'm not gonna. Yeah,
Okay.
I won't say yet.
So mine's definitely Outer Worlds 2. I don't think I'm going to finish it, which is kind of my theme with these kind of games. Like, this is obviously the same developer as Avowed. Two games in the same year
Yeah,
is
yeah.
fucking ridiculous. And I'm not probably going to beat either of them just purely because of time. And Black Ops 7 I'll beat. That won't take long to beat the campaign. How much multiplayer I play, I don't know. And the Metroid
Have you
Prime.
googled how long it takes Outer Worlds campaign?
No. I mean, it's not out, but I mean, the reviews are out, aren't they? It will
Because
be
obviously based
it'll be
on
around
scores, it's
20
quite
hours, and I know it doesn't sound like much, but just because
the
of how
time in which
yeah, between Black Ops
yeah
7,
other
oh,
things coming out. Yeah,
it says between 30 and 40 hours, which means it's definitely not going to happen. Um,
really? What for just the story? But I swear, like I can't remember what game it was, but I never go by what it says on Google. So how I do it, because I avoid all the side stuff as well. I always type in full walkthrough on YouTube and then see
mhm,
how long the video is.
mhm.
Because like for God of War, it's saying like 30 hours, whatever. Go on YouTube, it says 17 hours, and then that's sort of close to what I completed it
Yeah.
in because go past all the side stuff. But
So this website, PC Games, says it's 25 hours if you're just focusing on main campaign.
so if I read that, I'd be like, it's 20
20,
hours.
which
Yeah,
I would say is doable, but I'm gonna get about maybe 6 hours this week, say 6 hours a week after, and then Black Ops 7's out. So maybe it's
yeah.
one I can come
But
back to and finish it. It sounds like I'm going to get
yeah,
more time to play this than I did Avowed. So
well, you might play it, really enjoy it, and then think,
fuck Black
I
Ops.
don't want to get Black Ops yet. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, yeah, we'll see. That's a good point. I could just let you and Stephen review that if you even bother getting Black Ops 7. Um, we
yeah, I don't
shall
know at the
see.
moment.
But yeah, it's getting very close to Game of the Year time. It's going to be.
I think I was thinking about this earlier when I was at work, and I think I know what my top four order is.
Oh, I know mine for now, but it's
Yeah,
not to say it won't
obviously, yeah.
change.
If I
Um, I'm not expecting Outer Worlds or Black Ops, but Metroid could be amazing. Um, and Blueprint, I want to play that. So yeah,
yes,
it's tough. I'm happy to say that I've got 12 games on my list, like as in
okay.
on my app, and it has finally meant that Lost Records is out of the top 10.
Oh, you got it out. Yeah,
Because
I know.
just purely by numbers, because it was always in there because I hadn't played enough games, and now it's gone,
Yeah,
and I will not have to talk about it
I
in
need
the
to.
review.
I need to figure out my top 10 because obviously I don't want it in my top 10 either. But at the moment, I don't think I've played more than 10. So yeah, it might be. Obviously, it'll be as low as it can be if I don't get it out. But
Yeah, and
ideally, don't want it in there.
it's only me and you that have played it. Who's going to be putting it into the our official podcast game of the
Yes.
year episode? So it's not going to get on because it's not. It's only going to get probably 1 point from you.
Cool.
Um, cool. Well, that's it then for this week. Thanks for joining me, Andy. Where can people follow you?
You can find me over on Twitch at Andy_Y_07 and also over on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at AB Collectibles and AB Collectibles 24. And just to add, I did download Silent Hill 2, by the way, so I will play that at some point.
Oh, because it's part of
It's not the Yeah, it was part of the catalog. It's not the
um,
next time I'm playing, but
is
I
it
added it to my life.
catalog or one of the free ones that you keep?
PlayStation. No, it's I think it's the extra catalog.
Wow, it's only been out a year and they're giving it to you for like to keep.
No. The
Oh,
PlayStation Plus extra. Yeah.
catalog.
So
Sorry, cool.
yeah,
Not what's it called? Oh, essential. That's right.
yeah.
Um, okay,
Because that's still got Alan Wake 2 on it at the moment, I think. So I've added Alan Wake 2 and Silent Hill 2 to my library.
interesting. I'm interested in you playing Silent Hill too. Um, cool. Thank you all for listening to this episode of the Late Night Gamer podcast. We really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a follow, leave a rating, and tell a friend about us. You can follow us on all social medias with the handle at the Late Night Pods. Next week, as mentioned, I'm playing Outer Worlds 2, so I'll be giving my early review of that game. But until then, I've been your host, Welchy, and my guest has been Andy.
Yeah, thank you as always, guys. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, hopefully you guys play Blueprints. Let me know what you think and help with the puzzles, please.
Thank you all for listening and keep on gaming.